Hi guys, so I just want to share a little project I put together after seeing some of the swaps come in that had these cute little like sweethearts, conversation hearts boxes, I suppose, or maybe it's just a front, but they put it on a box or however they used it. So I spent some time on the internet looking for it and the dies, and I was like, you know what, I guess I'll just make my own because I wasn't sure exactly, first of all, who created it. I know I saw something called like Makers. I was saying Maker's Mark, but I think that's some kind of whiskey or bourbon or something. Maker's something that looks like maybe the design originated there, but then of course you see it, like on Amazon or AliExpress, things like this. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna buy that because, especially not from AliExpress, and have it here on my channel because I don't know again who originated the design. So I thought I can put together something similar on my Cricut design space, and that's what I'm going to do. If I have any links available, I'll link them in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. I went ahead and designed it last night for like a couple hours. It's not quick and it's not super easy, so I'd rather just show you the cut file and then we'll go from there. So let me click here. These are all the different files for those little totes I had made recently. This is a gumball machine I was going to make, and it just looks horrible, so I'm not ready to use that. But this is what I came up with, and I think it came out pretty cute. So let's open it up, and I'll talk about what I did, but, again, was not easy. So let's just open this up. I had to do a series of hearts, and if you look at the sweethearts boxes, so a bunch of different companies have made the sweethearts. There's like Spangler, there's like Necco, Brox has made them, so apparently I forgot who bought them back. I think Spangler might have bought them again. So the box looks typically the same, but sometimes a little bit different. Maybe the sweethearts word's a little bit different. I don't know how the Cricut's going to cut. This is very delicate, so hopefully it'll be okay. I had designed it not paying attention to the sizing. And then when I was done, I was like, oh, maybe I should make it like a standard size of something. So I made it 4 by 6. Does that seem right? No, because this is 6 already. What did I do with it? You know what? I think when it saved, it must have saved something smaller because I did make it a little bit bigger. Oh, 3.75 by 5.75. That's what I did. So that you can mat it on a 4 by 6 type card if you wanted to. And then you have a little extra, and of course that's an odd size. It's because it looks cuter, longer, and thinner than if you were to try to make it look like for an A2 size card. I don't know, the design just looks better skinny like this. Skinny and less wide. So I did that. I was going to design a box for it, but I thought, you know what, if I'm going to design a box, I'd rather just do that by scoring it and not adding a bunch of score lines here and a bunch of little like tabs and all that kind of stuff. So maybe we'll do that. But for right now, I designed it to be a card topper, okay? The Sweethearts lettering, I just looked for a font that looked cute, and I found this one, and I just worked with it, and I stuck some words together. If you look at the Sweethearts boxes, some of them have a separate S, a separate W, the EETH is stuck together, the EAR is stuck together, and the TS. Some of them have all stuck together. Some of them have, it just depends again on the company. So I did it this way. And what's funny is that it's hard to even notice that the H is over here and the arts is over here, like why? And then I had to weld them, so I did my best. And then I did a background layer for that, and then another shadow layer, just if you want that. So there's 3 different layers. I tried to make it in the colors like the typical box colors. That way I wouldn't get confused. So basically I had this heart shape. Then I made an offset for it. And then I kind of stretched the offset in a fun way. And then I made another offset for that offset, and I stretched that one even in a different way because if you look at the boxes, they're not perfectly like symmetrical or concentric, the hearts. So I thought, well, I'll just try my best at that. And then I just had to mess around with that in different ways to do a background layer, because really on the box it cuts off the hearts on the side. It's not just like a perfect heart and then, the box. So then I welded it to this white background. And then I had, before I did that, I kept this piece, which is basically this other piece here. Actually, it's this outer piece. And then I used that to cut the top of a rectangle to get this part, to cut the bottom of a rectangle to get this part, change the colors of them. There's just a lot of things I had to do to get this to work. And then this is a hole right here. Hopefully you can see, because you can see the grid lines back here. So this makes like a shaker front. I suppose if you don't want that, you can just use this piece. This piece I'm actually going to change the color on. Let's make it like a light gray, because I want you to know that that's supposed to be acetate, or this piece can be acetate. You don't have to cut a whole acetate front. If you just want to cover the back of it, of this area, this will do it for you. Or this whole thing will do it, right? If you want just a whole piece. or if you want a whole backing piece of paper, right? So I think I'm just gonna leave it gray though. And then these little guys, I just thought about it. You know what? I can use my pen functions to write like cute words on it, but I guess you could too. Like if you want to write cutie or cutie pie or, you know, I love you, whatever, you know, whatever sweet things you want to write on here, hugs, you can do that. I just made little hearts just to include them. That's not really the important part for me. I probably won't even cut them, to be honest, because I have that conversation heart set from Diamond Press. But again, you can just, you know, come in here and write words on them, and that'd be really cute. So I'm going to save this again, actually, now that we've talked about it. And this is gray, meaning cut that from acetate or cut this from acetate. You don't need them both, so you can get rid of one. You can change the color of this one if you wanted to cut background paper for you. I mean, whatever it is you want to do, right? You can do that. So again, if I take these apart, this is separate from, this is a whole background, right? And then you're going to bring in this red piece and layer it, the pink piece and layer it, and then your words. So whatever colors you want to choose for those things. And I think it worked out really well. So, oh well, that's not moving for me right now. Let me grab it. There we go. So that's that. And so what I'm going to do is just send it to cut. And I guess I'll send it to cut the size I have it right now, which is going to be something that layers into a 4x6. Or possibly we'll make a box for it. That's going to be a really big box. I mean, it's cuter when it's smaller. But again, the other thing we can do is whenever you have something like this, and people ask me, and I mentioned in the last video, these are all grouped together. So when I grab them, everything moves because it's together, right? And you want that because now, let's say I want to make this smaller. I'll just grab this corner, or you can change the size up here, but grab the corner and shrink it, and everything moves the same. Everything, the aspect ratio stays the same. So that's really good. That's what you want. You don't want this changing size when the sweethearts is still big, and the, you know, you want everything to change at the same time. And the only way I know really the size of this, because like obviously it's giving you the size of the whole project here, is to actually just click on something. So like I clicked on that, and the whole thing is lit up right now, and it's 2.8 by 4.39. You know, maybe you want it to be 4.25 tall. So let's say, just because you want some nice round numbers. The other one's probably not going to be a nice round number, but you can do that and press enter. And now it's almost, you know, 2 3/4 inches wide by 4 1/4 inches tall. And that's fine. But you're going to have to go and mess with this one too to make it the same size, right? Because we just clicked on that one specifically to change the size. So again, lots of these things we don't want to do. We want to keep things the way they were. And that is that, guys. So pretty easy. Again, if you do want to make standard numbers for this, just make sure to resize this to the same number you did here. If you're trying to just manipulate these things. So nobody knows how tall or short or wide this is. So if you want to mess with it, you know, if you like it to be more like this or like whatever. Right now it's doing it incremental or in a ratio that's together. But let's say I want to undo that. And I just want to make it like this, or like this, or like this. You know, you can do all kinds of things. Just whatever you end up with, make sure to resize this, or just use this heart, actually. It'll still cover the back, depending. Okay, so different ways to resize things is all I was talking about here. And generally, I keep everything together, so it all moves together. And changes size together and all that. Okay, well, I'm going to send this to cut, and then we'll go to my work surface, and we will put it together and see what we have. Okay, and if this thing ever finds the machine that literally is sitting right next to me, it always takes forever, I don't know why. So I just want to show you the pieces. So again, that white background piece that has it cut out. If you don't want that cut out, just use a solid piece. You know, you don't have to make it a shaker. You can just do whatever you want. We have the sweethearts background, then we have the actual background black layer. This red piece has the little letters that really scares me, and we'll see how it turns out, because again, the Cricut does not do great cutting small things, but this is on the larger side, so hopefully it'll cut it okay. And that pink bottom, and then I did take some of the lettering and I made little words, so sweet hugs and like, I don't know, cute. So if you want to do that, you know, you don't have to do that. But I did add the lettering to them, and you can even design your own. So if you want to manipulate the file, just double click on the lettering and write your own thing, you know. But okay, so whenever this finds it, I don't know if it has, I will, nope, still looking, get to cutting, okay? But I'll be back. I know I have my lights on, but I want to show you real quick why I think this is so delicate, and I probably wouldn't make it much smaller, which is kind of a bummer, just because the way Cricut cuts, and look how delicate that is, and it cut this pretty well, because as you can see, it popped out. But I mean, eesh, like the swirl on this one, and I mean even right here, kind of gouged it a little bit, you know. So I don't know, but I'll continue cutting. So had some issues with my little hearts. That one didn't cut out completely, so I had to rerun it, and then it did the hugs again, and it was like way off, which is interesting. It's supposed to be right on, right? But it wasn't. So and then a couple of things. Some of the just having your setting on cardstock plus when you have thick cardstock isn't great. So this one I pulled it out before I realized it didn't actually cut out. Look, it didn't even touch the back. Like you can't even see any cutting. So I ran it twice. I do like settings that are like foil or heavy acetate because those will cut twice. Some will cut 3 times, which is too much, and I just don't like bothering with that. But anyway, I have a 4x6 card base here from like a Crafter's Companion kit. Of course, if you're making your own, it would be 6 inches tall, 8 inches wide, scored at 4 inches. I have that base piece that, of course, we're going to pop up if we're doing a shaker, so I'm not going to mess with that quite yet. But these pieces, the way I designed them is, initially what I had done is gone ahead and made a white heart, but then I thought, well, that doesn't really make sense. So you're just basically layering these things on top. Why add another heart, you know? So I ditched that and I just made it one solid piece. But of course, if you want to design your own, you can do whatever you like. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to place this guy, and I had left a little tiny border basically around this, that white border, kind of like the way the candy box is, so that's why I did that. Again, the heart's supposed to kind of bleed off, at least that's what it looks like. And then I was going to use shiny black paper to just have some pops of color, or metallic paper and things like that, but I thought, well, this is the first time I'm doing this, I want to make sure it looks good. On top of that, sometimes with the Cricut, if you're cutting metallic papers, it'll just kind of rip at or gouge at the top of the paper. It doesn't look too great, so I was like, let's just give this thing the best chance it can get. So this guy's next, and basically that's it. So, and then the shaker there, right? So I made the heart red just like the top is red. What I did was I pulled up, I Googled sweethearts, you know, conversation hearts, just to see what the packaging looked like. And again, depending on what company, you know, at the time was doing it or what you're going with, they look slightly different. So I just kind of chose the coloring, what they had in certain ones, and it was more red, white. This middle area was whatever color. Obviously I'm leaving it open because of the shaker. So there's that. We do have hearts that did fall out of here. If you wanted to put them back or do something else with them, you know, you can definitely use these on something else. I mean, we can emboss this paper if you want it to be more fun. I'm just kind of going with traditional. The little words came out really cute. So how I set these guys up is I size them so that they're all the same sizing, because basically they don't change the font sizes on the conversation hearts, not that I've noticed. They're usually the same size, but and then I made them so that they worked within each of them. This one I probably could have centered a little better. It came out funky, but again, we can stick these guys down in here. You can put them in the shaker, you know, on the conversation heart box. I think basically they have like one stuck down out here, so you see it in the product information or whatever. So I have a few if we want to play with those. Now our lettering. So I have this to layer onto the black one. Sometimes the lettering was white, sometimes the lettering was red with a white background. So again, I just took my own liberties to design it how I wanted since I was making it from scratch. And I don't remember what font that was that I got this kind of curly Q font, but again, you know, play around, see what you like. I did make it so that everything was free. That font is a free font, so hopefully that works for you. Now that I think about it, I hope I got a free font. It might not be. Oh, guys, if it's not a free font, just delete it and then make your own. I don't know. Because what happens is when you click for ones I purchased, it'll include the free ones, and I don't know that I pay attention to that. I was looking for the font style more than anything. So sorry, guys. Maybe you have a die that says sweetheart or something, and you can just use that. This is going to be impossible. Let me use something else. Where's my scraper? This guy. Okay, so we're going to get our little letters and glue them down. Of course, you know how I like to put glue on the back of my hand. This looks like a little snail. Again, that S is so thin right there, you know? And that's kind of why I was like, not really recommending to shrink this anymore, because it's so delicate. But some people's Cricuts cut better than others, so maybe you have a really good Cricut that will cut the smallest little font, or maybe you want to make it your own and make the font bold. It gives it a little bit more thickness, you know, the same style, but it'll just be a little thicker. Lots of fun ways to play with this. So I'm going to take all these off, guys, put some glue on the back of my hand and just set them and glue those on, okay? That was probably the part that took the longest, just to be careful and setting everything. How cute is that? Maybe next time I'll move this over a little more when I glue it down. And I guess that's done. And oh my gosh, does that not finish it off? Now, again, I'm just gonna glue it down. You can pop it up. I mean, there's, you know, even these guys, maybe I'll pop those guys up. So let's glue this down completely. I will try to find what font I use there, the name of it, so I'll put the information in the description box. So if you have, you know, access, obviously you can use all the fonts. If you don't, maybe you want to just buy that 99 cents or whatever it is for that one font, because otherwise what you're going to do is pay for using it in this file. But if you already own it, then it's okay, right? So I did not cut an acetate for it because I was like, I don't want to take the time to do that, because basically I'm just going to grab a piece of acetate like this and just kind of eyeball. Oh, look, they're all stuck down because they were on the Cricut, you know, that little stickiness from the Cricut mat. So we can just stick this on here, and I can see just about how big I need that to be. So again, if you want the Cricut to do everything, you know, go for it, but you don't have to. And I'm just going to put this on here. How cute would that be with vellum too? That'd be, I think, very old school feeling, very confectionery feeling. But anyway, I'm going to put this right on here. And I'm not filling this with conversation hearts like those guys, but that would be very cute. Or like the diamond press ones. I think that would be super adorable. Oh, little glue came out over here, which is fine. Okay, I'm going to line this out, and I think I haven't made a shaker this way in a while, apparently. Where's my... Looking for my shaker roll. Ah! I'm just gonna put it like here. I was gonna put another amount closer here so that everything doesn't just fall out, but I'll just line it like that. That's fine. We'll just fill that up. So again, butt it up so none of your spangles or glitters or whatever that you have fall out anywhere. And I'll be right back. As you can see, I'm just making it smaller. I didn't go all the way to the edge. No one's gonna look at it and be like, oh, where's the, you know, it's fine. So I'll be right back. You know, I didn't give much thought to what I'm putting behind here. So, I mean, we can leave it just like that. Obviously the box on the inside is white, you know, but you can also put something else cute on the back there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to, I really like this pink color. Maybe I'll go with a lighter pink. I'll grab a light pink, cut it down. Even the paper from the Valentine's Day paper that I just recently picked up from Michael's would be really cute because it has its own pattern. But I'll do a light pink, cut it down to like, you know, just smaller than this thing. So this is again 3.75 by 5.75, so I'll do like just smaller than those numbers, and I'll probably run it through an embossing folder just to give it some texture to make it more fun. So I'm going to show you. So we have that. I mean, it looks really cute. It looks very typical of like the box. And then we have this. What I would do if you want to stretch this out or make it the whole 4x6, that'd be really cute, right? But I like the way it's popped up there. And so this guy, I just found this little dotted folder. I'm just going to run it through in my Platinum 6, and I'll be right back. That was a really weird little folder. I think I got it from like, you know, like a free extra thing or whatever it was, or like in a mystery bag or something. Doesn't work super great, even with a ton of shims, but I got it going. It took 3 plastic shims. Okay, so let's center this guy. Ugh, what is that? Something got on there. And this is just for some texture. I mean, we could have gone with hearts, or even the stencil from the Diamond Press Conversation Heart set. Run it through with the rubber embossing mat, and you would have all those little heart shapes in there. That would be really cute, I think. I'm loving actually the way these look. So I mean, it's probably worth the time cutting a whole bunch of these guys and putting them in there. because how cute is that? Or just even sticking those down so it still looks, right? You stick them down there, they don't move, and then you still have the shaker material possibly, or just the look of a box of candy, right? I mean, that is really cute. But what I'm going to do is, you can definitely stick them down and add shaker material, all those different things, is go ahead and remove these guys. And then I think, you know, we just came off of the swap where I received tons of gorgeous shaker mixes. And so I just grabbed this one right here. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. From Marely Socorro. I think she goes by Yaya's Crafts or something here. So I opened this up and I was like, oh yeah, look at it. Isn't that cute? Perfect. I love the colors in there. Again, we can do lots of pops of other colors because conversation hearts come in different colors, but this is what I will use for my little shaker ingredients today. So thank you so much. And super cute. There's just a bunch of things in here that I just love and adorable. Oh, okay. So I think I'm going to take the pearls out because I think they're going to be too tall for this project. I only have so much height. And I think everything else can stay. Oh my gosh. How cute is that? So let me pour a good amount because I think I'll use a little bit more even. But again, without the pearls. And I think that'll be good because my area is a lot larger than I was going to do initially. Those little micro beads are so cute. Gotta get them in there. Okay, I think we're good. And I mean, how cute is this, you guys? Oh my goodness. And I'm just trying to eyeball to make sure it's kind of centered everywhere as much as I can see with the camera up there. This project took me a while to design, not gonna lie. It was more of the wording and then getting the hearts the way I wanted them. They are not perfect exactly how you would see with the packaging, you know, but I think it's pretty darn close and pretty cute. Hold on, I have a little heart spangle on my thumb over here. Close this up before I have an accident. So I always like to turn them over and give them a really good push, and then we turn it back over, and there is our shaker. I mean, how cute. I love the colors, the little pop of, you know, dots in the background. Super traditional, how adorable. And then we have these little guys that we can place here and there. So I'm going to do that. And I think I'll glue those down, and then I'll just pop up that blue one. Like I said, on the packaging, it looks like there's only one out here. That just kind of... Ugh, no. Oh well, I already messed that up. I don't really like the way they're looking there, but that's okay. So let me put some dimension on this one. I'll be right back. So there's that. And of course, I mean, they can go everywhere. I'm just putting them down here. And there is our little project. So hopefully this will be completely free for you. I know sometimes if I include something that's not free, which now I'm thinking I'm like freaking out about it, it won't let you cut anything because it's like, oh no, you can't do that. But what you can do is just manipulate it, get rid of that. You can cut and paste things. I don't know if you knew that in your design space. So let's say you have this open, and so now because you're afraid of this thing, just delete it, get rid of it. Cut and paste everything else. So highlight this base piece, right click, and then say cut, and then open a new file. Right, you can close that one, open a new file, and then paste it, and it will paste it for you. It'll start a whole new file, and you can then play around with it if for whatever reason you can't get the words to cut, okay? So just some other ideas, I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. This was a lot of fun. I mean, it took me some time, and I think it came out really cute. Obviously, it's not exactly the same as the packaging, but I think you get the idea. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Again, links are in the description box and images coming up, and bye for now. You know, I can't just leave you hanging saying to delete the words and whatever else, so I just came back and I made a second file. It's called Sweethearts Box, all free images. Supposedly this font is free, so I hope that works for you guys. The other one was Anna's Fancy Lettering or something like that, which is free if you have access, and if you have some of Anna's other cartridges, maybe you already own it, but you know, I don't know. So this one's supposedly free, and it's pretty cute, and I think that came out really cute. So try it out. That's the other option, unless you want to make your own, but all I did was type out Sweethearts with this font, and then put the kerning to be closer and closer and closer, and then I welded the one. So I didn't take the time to like with the other one where I made it look more stylized, like what I think at the time Neko Company had designed. So you see the S is separate, the wheat is kind of together, the hearts, it looks like it's together. I don't know, I just welded it, so there it is. All right, guys, so there's another option for you. So I'll link both of them in the description box, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.